Hello everybody, we want to thank you for voting for Barefoot on Mars to become #1 in the Heritage charts.
Thank you so much indeed. May I say, wife, congratulations to you, it's richly deserved.
Well, thank you, that's very generous of you. And this #1 has so inspired us, we're so grateful to you all that we cannot wait to start Posh Pop 2. Thank you.
Somewhere there's a place, once upon a time, and in that place there's only the kind we have, all we need to conquer the world, build our dreams and watch them unfold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Toyah at Home. Thank you everyone for all your wonderful birthday wishes, to my gorgeous husband Robert Fripp and to myself, plus anniversary wishes. So here we are today. We've been celebrating the midweek chart placing of Toyah, Toyah, Toyah. Its midweek was 11, but that was before the download chart started to kick in. So it's going to be quite a different chart placing today. But still, to get to number 11 in the main album charts is amazing. I believe that's its highest chart entry in the whole of the history of the album. And of course, we're still celebrating Barefoot on Mars becoming a #1 in the Heritage charts. So it's been a really, really great week. Now, Frippy and I had an absolutely fantastic fantastic anniversary day. We had a beautiful meal, and of course he had tons of birthday presents, and I managed to surprise him and get him things that he never knew that the Santa Claus of his birthday was bringing to him. Now I've decided to ambush my gorgeous husband today.
I'm ambushed. What's happening here, lovey? Who is this?
How was your birthday?
My birthday was stunning, and my anniversary was probably even more wonderful than that.
It was a very, very special day. We went off grid and we just had a lot of fun. We do what Taurians do. We buy each other presents and we eat. That's our favouriteest thing, isn't it?
Oh, I did have some sweet, tasty things yesterday, little lovey.
So to celebrate past wonderful events, I bought my husband some crystallised fruit, which is a speciality of Menton in France. So that was a nice surprise.
That was a wonderful surprise, little lovey. Also, the marzipan tasty things.
He had about a box, a kind of crate full of marzipan that hopefully will keep you going for at least a week.
And chewy nuggets. I've forgotten how wonderful nugget is.
And I bought you some angel wings for your bookshelves.
Oh, some book supports.
And for an anniversary present, I gave Robert my father's silk scarf because I didn't want it in storage. I wanted to see it being worn.
I was very moved by having my wife's father's scarf.
So we've been celebrating this week. You do know that Toyah, the midweek chart placing in the main album chart was 11.
I learnt that yesterday. I was surprised, but in a wonderfully, wonderfully good way.
I think we're all very pleasantly surprised, but the download competition will only have kicked in today. So it'll be quite a different chart position. And we both want to say thank you to everyone who voted for Barefoot on Mars to go to number 1 in the Heritage chart.
Thank you from Bobby Wilcox too.
Yeah, that was an absolutely breathtaking moment for both of us because it is very much a collaborative song between Fripp, myself and Simon Darlow. So to get that chart placing, I'm now 64. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. It was really the best week of our lives. So thank you very much. Now, today I'm going to be reacting to a clip from Tiswas. Did you ever see Tiswas?
Not really, lovey. I was out on the road mostly in those years.
Well, in this year, this was September 1981, you were probably touring in New York with the Discipline lineup.
Yeah, the King Crimson Discipline formation.
So my husband, I don't think, has a clue who I was and what I got up to until we met in 1985.
I think that's probably a good thing, lovey.
I think it's a good thing because I know what this clip is about and what it's like, and even I find myself terrifying in it. So I'm going to go up to my office. I love you,
Lovely
darling. Mwah. See you in a minute. He's so cute. He's so cute.
I'm cute.
The cutest man in the world. Now, I haven't bothered to dry my hair today because it is so hot out there and I'm suffering from hay fever. Now, we're less than 10 days away for the Toyah, the Lena Lovitch, the Saffron tour to start. So I'm so grateful to get my hay fever out of the way because I get it so badly. Now, we are going to talk about Tiswas. What can I say about Tiswas? It was one of the most magnificent, absolutely rebellious pieces of TV ever made. It was anarchic. It was unpredictable. It was a scream, an absolute scream. I think I went on it at least 2 times, possibly 3 times. I remember being on it once with Simon Le Bon of Duran Duran. I was with Rick Parfitt of Status Quo and quite a few others. But the clip we're going to show you today and I'm going to talk through is called I'm a Misery, which is a joke based on It's a Mystery. So Tiswas was created by Chris Tarrant, Sir Lenny Henry, who went on to create Comic Relief, Sally James, who was just loved by everyone across Europe. She was incredibly gentle and feminine and able to stand up to these strong anarchic men at the same time. And she always just got custard pied in every show. And there was also Bob LG's, now I've probably got his surname wrong, and Spit the Dog. Now, Bob and I ended up in 1993 in Belize doing a concert at the RAF base, and we had 3 days on this RAF base, and it was the wildest 3 days I have ever had in my life. But that's another story. So getting back to Tiswas, which was 26th of September 1981. Now, what slightly confuses me about the beginning of this is Sally James says, "We've just heard your new single." I haven't got a clue what that new single is, because Thunder in the Mountains came out in August, I believe, and was in the charts for at least 6 weeks. So perhaps it was Thunder in the Mountains. It couldn't possibly have been the Christmas release of Good Morning Universe. Now, the costume I'm wearing in this is very basic because I knew I was about to be trashed. The jewellery I'm wearing, I'm going to talk you through because I'm wearing my favourite necklace of that time. And I lent it to a neighbour where I lived in Hendon, and she went to a party in one of my costumes and she got in a drunken fight, and the costume and the necklace were absolutely destroyed. You know, it's just so interesting looking back to events that happened back then. So let's play it through and I will talk you through what I perceive and what I see.
The new single earlier, which was
I think
great.
I look amazing.
But we have had a lot of people writing in
I
saying,
love the
"No
hair
choice.
colour.
Will she please perform It's a Mystery?"
Now, all around me, there's crazy things going on. We're crowded in with the kids. The kids are given complete freedom. They're as confused as the rest of us as to what's happening. Now, what I love about this, look at Joel. Joel is just laughing his head off. We are in heaven and we're performing this live. Phil Spalding laughing his head off, and Adrian Lee just being fabulous on keyboards. Now, in the background is Nigel Glocker, and I think this might have led to him resigning and joining Saxon, because when the camera catches him, he doesn't look as though he wants to be seen. So everyone knows what's coming, and I think the lyrics that we're singing are brilliant. There's Sally James, got lots of other guest stars, everyone's joining in, and then we've got the Phantom Pie Man, and I'm about to get it. So I duck. It's just brilliant. Now, what I love is the jewellery I'm wearing, and thank goodness it didn't get ruined. I managed to get it home and save it. Now, you might be thinking this is not a way to treat a serious artist. Everyone went on this show, absolutely everyone. It was the show to be on. There was nothing like it at the time in the world. So here we are at the very end of the song, and it just decays into complete chaos. And somehow Nigel Glocker, I believe, managed to just miss every pie and just not be involved in it. There's one other iconic thing I'm wearing, which I've managed to keep, and I absolutely love this piece. I got this very early on in my career in 1979, and I got it in a very special student jewellery shop on Neal Street in Covent Garden, just off Long Acre. Now, this shop specialised in student jewellery, and I was in there every week, virtually everything I owned at that time, because it was affordable one-off art, was made by students. Now, this has still got, this is amazing. The name is still on it. Jeff Roberts. That is so incredible, because on stage I sweat so much I destroy everything. Oh, Jeff Roberts, I wonder if I want to know your story, what you've gone on to do, because I love this piece. It was so inventive and brilliant. And as I said, I managed to save these particular bangles from the custard pies. Doing Tiswas meant that you were accepted, that you were in the top league of what you did, and that you had to accept that anything could happen to you. Now, some people might look at that and go think, well, aren't you uncomfortable with that? I was certainly not uncomfortable with being pied. We knew what was going to happen, even though we didn't know when it was going to happen. And I love that the band was performing live for this show. I was singing live. I cannot remember how we rehearsed this, but I think the band were absolutely spot on, and it's a really great performance. What shocked me is at the top is how protective I am of myself. That was the kind of residue of punk, that this kind of armour went around myself, and I imagine it went around other female performers as well. And it was an armour that could never show a chink in it, a kind of bruise in the metal or a cut in the metal. It just had to be up. The guard had to be up all the time. And when I watch how beautiful, feminine Sally James interviews me without any side, without any tricks to it whatsoever, she's a very honest, transparent interviewer. Even my armour is up, and I'm just so hard hitting and aggressive. And I've learnt more from watching this Tiswas clip about myself than watching anything else. It's just, I've got to be strong. I've got to stand grounded. I've got to protect everything I've built, everything I've done with the band, and absolutely nothing is going to break me down. And that comes through in the very first sentence when Sally James says to me, I'm not sure I can get this back now. I mean, it is just absolutely incredible what she reveals about me. I'm just going to wait to skip the ad. Okay, let's play
Saw
this.
the new single earlier, which was great, and I'm sure it's going to be a huge hit for you. But we have had a lot of people writing in saying, we know Toyah's coming on, will she please perform It's a Mystery?
Yes,
you don't mind?
I don't mind at all.
I don't mind at all. Oh, yes. I mean, it's pretty unconvincing acting. But I'm just obviously protecting myself in some way. And I can only think what this is about is that I was the person that everyone came to for creative thought, for what the artwork should be, for how we move forward with the promotion. And I just think that I don't see what I am today. And I think today, because of social media and the amount of touring I've done in the last 6-7 years, I've been more in touch with my audience. And I think by being in touch with the audience, I've become a better human being, because I see real people's lives. Now, at that time, I didn't really have what you could call a real life. I was completely kept in a bubble. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't pop down the shops. I couldn't pop into a shop around 1981 or even jump in a taxi on my own. I always had to have security. And I just think I'd slightly lost touch with reality. And in recent years, because of what Robert and I have done with social media, and because I perform in small venues, which, you know, are very humbling, but also really transparent and very real, you get to see people's reactions to the music. You get the intake of breath from the audience when you start a song. And when we play Take Me Home, you see real tears and sometimes sobbing. So I just think I'm so much happier today with what I do and who and what I am. I've been able to kind of let go of having to be so self-protective. And there's a huge kind of history there of tough years at school, tough years getting into the industry, and very tough experiences in family life, that now I can be very, very true to myself and let the real me out. So this has been a phenomenal trip down memory lane for me. And we're going to play out with this clip again. I think it's really great fun. I adored Tiswas. I'm so proud of knowing Sally James and adore Chris Tarrant. And it's just been a very beautiful moment. And I hope you've enjoyed the silliness of it, as well as how extraordinary it was back in 1981. Everyone, thank you so much for the beautiful birthday wishes and anniversary wishes. We are a few days, less than 2 weeks away from the Electric Ladies tour. Now I go on to have a colourist meeting with my hairdresser to see if we can alter the colour of my hair. I'd be surprised if we can, because I'm 64. This hair is now very brittle, but we're going to see what we can do. And I'm going to, and I want to, move into and evolve into a hair colour where the lights can really change what colour my hair is with every lighting change per song. So we're just going to have a meeting about it and just see if it's possible. I will see you tonight for an Objects of Desire with my gorgeous husband. And tomorrow we have a really iconic song for Sunday lunch. We had a lot of fun doing it. Big love to you all and thank you for joining me. Mwah!